Alrighty, we are live. Nope, that is not the song that's supposed to be playing at all. That is also very loud. I should have set this up before stream started. Oh well. No one's here yet. We're good. Y'all didn't hear nothing. Alrighty. Alright. Let's start reworking the first person legs. I think I figured out how to do it, and we just gotta try it. I have to go relook at my player material function to even see how that's working. So this is where we lerp. That's mesh offset. Okay, so this is where we're adding the offset. Oh my lord. Yep, okay. Cool. Falling a tutorial to get the distance to a plane, so we can do this. So we take position minus plane position. Get the dot product. So dot product. Plane normal. Wait, that's it? No. Good morning. Hey, how's it going? That my brother and I were just talking about that. How everyone right now just seems to be like super tired. And I asked him if there was like, you know, some solar flare activity and whatnot, like, and he was saying there's a little bit, not much for us to be feeling this tired, but like from what I've understood, everyone is just exhausted right now. So I think I figured out how to fix the players, whatchamacallit, the freaking frick frack. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, my brain's fried. I can't even explain. The legs. I think I figured out how to fix the legs. Okay, if we set the we set the ground plane normal to 1. Actually, we're gonna do this smartly. Very, very smartly. What we are going to do is create a data mesh layer. Actually, this would go on materials. Material parameter collection. MPC underscore. What am I doing? I just use this one. Vector parameters. We want to add two of these. Parameter name, ground position, ground normal. Save that. In here, we want to get parameter collection parameter. There we go. We want to use ground normal and ground position. And then we need to create a blueprint testing blueprint BP underscore floor normal testing. We want to add a plane. Set scale. Actually, we don't really need to worry about scale, but we do want to set vector parameter value. On FOV, parameter name will be ground normal. This one will be ground position. We want to get the plane, get world, or actually we can just do get actor location. Get actor location can be stuck straight in for ground position. And then get actor up vector can be used for ground normal. Oy. Oy. Okay, there we go. So now if we drag this in here, interesting. All right, this ain't working. I love this. This doesn't make any sense. In theory, this code should be working. And in theory, he should be turning black when the plane isn't even facing away from, or when the plane is facing away from him. I'm putting ground position into plane position, ground normal into plane normal, and I'm using the absolute. Yeah. What the heck? What if we don't normalize this? Maybe that's what the issue is. Ah, that's doing something. Oh, haha, I'm stupid. Yep, I'm just stupid. I don't know why I deleted that divide. That's what I was wanting. Okay. Golly. Look at that. Look at that, baby. So that's what we should be seeing. So basically, as we move this plane around and as we rotate it, we'll get the distance from we're getting the distance from this pixel to the closest point on this plane, which we can use in case, you know, for sliding purposes. If we're sliding up a ramp, we obviously want the knees to be perfectly matching in world space, because what we're trying to fix is this issue where oh, he's standing on the plane. You know, the legs look fine when you're standing, but then as soon as you slide, you see the legs do that. And if we slide in the direction of like the sun, you can see like they don't match the direction of the shadow. And you can see they still look even weirder as you start going like down slopes and stuff like that. So we can't just code it for flat ground, we have to code it for angled surfaces as well. You can see it don't match the shadow, and that's what we're trying to get. So in order for it to match the shadow, the point of the mesh that's closest to the ground needs to be in world space, and then it lerps up to world space, FOV space. So what we can do now is we can add another vector called waist position. And we need to take a look at our mesh. So user. Bada bing, bada boom, user. I need your mesh. I need to click on pelvis. Oh goodness. Ah, Unreal, please stop. Because we need to do this function again, but instead using waist position as the position. And we need to do a map value range. Nope, not that one. We need a map to normalize. No, there's some function for it. That's the same one. Yeah, that's the one. So we take the input and we want to input it between 0 and the max being whatever this is. So what we will do in this instance is get a reference to this mesh. We're just going to use him as our test dummy. My frames are dying. Oh, closing that material just gave me my frames back. Okay, cool. Okay, we'll get a reference to this guy, go into the level blueprint, and on tick, we want to set vector parameter NPCFOV. We want this to be waist position. Right click, get a reference to this guy, get skeletal mesh component, get socket location. Socket name is pelvis. Yeah, pelvis. Pelvis. Plug that straight into there. Compile. Now if we simulate, nothing's happening. Ugh, gross, I don't like that. What the heck is a frustrum? Huh. Interesting. Okay, well that's working now. Now what happens if we plug this back in? Oh, weird. And I think now if we multiply this value by this one, bruh. That breaks it somehow. Oh, because yeah. Okay, we're going to take this function, copy it into here. We need this to go into this top subtract. We need low to go into both B's. So whatever's being put into low into both B's. And then this result is going into A. Because we do not want... Let's do a simple test and say if this is greater than 1, we just want to return this, but if it's greater than 1, we want to return 0. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking instead of this just being flat and horizontal, it should probably take the actual plane normal of the waist itself. That way we can specify like a distance to the waist and then use that to multiply everything below it. So in order to get that, we need... Actually, let's get this node back in here. I guess we could get the same effect just by doing this and then doing... if it's equal to 1, and then if it's less than 1, do that. We should get the same effect. Yep, cool. So, this is previewing our... Okay, a little close there. Previewing our 0 to 1 value. However, I would also like to put in waist normal. Which direction is upwards on this? Negative Y? Wugga 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 wugga. Yeah, negative Y. So, what am I looking for? Here we go. We also want waist normal. And in our test level, we not only do we want to set waist position, but we also want to set waist normal, and this will be get socket rotation. Bless me. We want this to be pelvis, and then we from this rotation want to get let's see, Y is right, so we want to get the right vector and then negate this. Is this maybe a little much? Sure. Am I a perfectionist and really want this to work? Yes. So we put waist normal in there now. Then we do this distance to plane function again. However, we want to saturate the output of this. I know that ahead of time. For the position, we also want to take in world position. For the other two, we want set a ground position. We want waist position and waist normal. Nope. Waist normal. We actually want to 1 minus this, saturate it, and then seal it. And that should give us essentially the same effect of this, except for the fact that we will now have the waist normal. So if we simulate, as soon as the shader finishes compiling. Cool, what did I do? Let's plug this in. I mean, it is moving with it. Cool, cool, cool. All right. And the next thing we need to do is we need to raise this. So we need to have a value either in the player or in the material. I think it'd be more optimized in the material. Except for the fact that we plug this in, we get our proper value even when we simulate. No, not when we simulate. Interesting. What did I break? The fun part of game dev. We can close that. We don't need that. Okay, so why does simulating stop this? I mean, that seems like the right value. Oh, bruh, it was just 4 normal. Okay, cool. So now that works. Stop doing that. And then distance to plane, we can close that. Yes, we want to save all that. Now when we multiply this, we should be able to save and apply. And then if we simulate again, cool. Now we need to specify in the material a waist additive height. So we'll put it as a scalar. Waist height additive, I guess. Sure. And actually, to preview this, we should probably be using this model. Now we can actually see it properly on the legs. Cool. Okay. In the material, we want to take waist height additive and we want to take waist position and waist normal. Waist normal, we want to multiply it by our waist height additive. And add this to waist position, and then this will named reroute. We want to put this to adjusted waist Position. So now if I open up my, what am I looking for? Armor, base. And if I drag this to my other screen so I can see it. If I touch waist height additive, I can scale this upwards. However, you see, I don't want this affecting the arms at all. So we also need to find a way to mask out the arms. I don't know why I'm animating this like or while I'm talking. Because yeah, if the player were to be like looking down, AR look down. No, look 90. It should be 90, negative 90. All right, we're just gonna find the animations. Animations, player, third person. Aim offsets, assault rifle, standing. Oh, it's just, I didn't have look in the name. So it should be forward negative 90. I drag this into his, there we go. You can see now that the hands are looking down, they're being affected by the offsets, which would look really stupid in first person. So we need to create a mask that masks out the arms. That way this effect's only being applied to the legs. And we did kind of do that down here. Interesting. Wonder if we can just plug this straight in. And then obviously we'll clean it up. Plug into this multiplier right here. And then plug that into base color. No, we do need the interpolator. Okay. Oh. Something ain't working. Let's just preview this. See what this gives me. Dang, it doesn't like that. Okay, well, we're gonna have to go with a different route. We can't use vertex colors because that's already being used. Could use the alpha channel of the vertex colors. You know what? Let's try that. Let's go edit the vertex colors of this mesh here. Show advanced vertex colors. Model. I don't even know where you go to paint vertex colors. I know you can do it. Let's Google it. Okay, that doesn't tell me how to use it. That just... Well, that's nice. You Google how to use vertex colors and it just tells you, oh, you can do vertex colors, but not how to. I would assume it's edit attributes. Unfortunately. Oh well, guess we're not going to use vertex colors for that. That's unfortunate. In that case, we have to find some way to mask out the hands without using this. Unless the issue is that we need vertex interpolator just right here. Maybe that's the issue. Oh, that's the issue. Yep, I'm done. I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. Okay. Alrighty then. If we plug this into the base color now, then... Ooh, boy, my frames. So if we've got this over here, so we can see the mesh, we just need the legs to be entirely white. So if we do this, what if we add a seal here for the base color? Oh, that almost gets the top of the waist. So I think what we need to do is... go 0.41. I don't know if that's the right. Let's see. This one's masking the G, which is the X and Y. This one's the B. Oh, maybe change this to 0.3. Yeah, I mean, that works. The legs are completely white. I don't like freaking Z fighting, dude. This is annoying. Yeah, if we just seal this, then then we multiply that, and then we plug that in. Then we should get our nice... Well, let's do this. Am I overthinking this? I think I might just be overthinking this. I think this will look pretty much the same if we just do this. Yeah, that looks pretty much the same, except better. And if we select the plane and move that, yep, that works. I don't even know what I was thinking. I was very much overcomplicating this. So yes, if we do that, then that does that, and that does that, and then instead we can now plug this into here, delete that, plug this back into here, plug this back into base color, and we're gonna have to collapse this down to a function, because now we need to use this for the lerp. Oh boy, this is going to be fun to clean up. But let's see if that fixes our issue. If not, we start from scratch. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go into the blueprints, pawns, delete this plane, delete this mesh, delete this code. And then what we want to do is in blueprints pawns player on our tick, because we need this to update every frame. Where's my tick function? Here it is. I think I have a function for something. Oh, that's begin play. Tick is here. Here we go. Is locally viewed. We have determined camera velocity, determined first person depth. So this is where we're already determining some first person stuff. So we might as well just... We'll just call this determine first person values instead. Sequence. First thing, actually, and I'm not using the waste to normal variable anymore, so we can just delete this. Player, we want to do set scalar parameter value. We need MPC FOV. We want to copy. Wrong button. My bad. We want multiple values for this. Oh, I did scalar. We need ground normal, ground position, and waist position. So I think we can use GMC's Is it get floor? Get current floor. I hope this works for simulated ponds. Shape distance to floor. I think we need just shape hit result, which should be the capsule. Break this. Impact point should be ground position. Yep, this should be that. And then waist position, we need to get the first person mesh, get socket location. This. All right. This should be working. Let's see if this works at all. Oh. I was trying to get a improper value, so now if I apply this. Waist position goes into there. Oh! I think it's backwards. Yeah. Let me just copy this. Paste this here. Actually, we can just flip these inputs. That goes into there. That goes into there. And I think that works. Okay, not quite. Let me drop the gun. Dude, what did I do? What did I do? I'm so confused. Okay, so now the hands are right, but if we look down, Yep, I think I broke my ankle. Alright, for now we're just gonna skip this stuff. This stuff we ain't going to even worry about. Yeah, so this is flipped. But if we do this, now it looks very, very strange. Just looking at the legs. It's also massive and in my face. There we go. See how this looks on 60 FOV. Golly, 60 FOV is so zoomed in. No, that ain't gonna work. Never mind. So if we seal this, that's giving us essentially, this is like, this value out here should be just legs. So if we're using just legs, then this plug this at a first person. If this is false, then we want to do that, and then this does this. And then this is where we want to plug multiply into this alpha. This might need to be 1 minus. Yeah, it seems like it's working. I'm gonna have to add a debug key so I can pause. Let's go temporary. This is where I already have other debug keys. And pause. Set game paused. Flip lop. Yeah, he's supposed to be on his knees. Yeah, no, I know. In theory, I think if we go down to 90 FPS or 90 FOV, that's what it's supposed to relatively look like. Like the knee, you know, lines up with the shadow. If I face this way. Okay, maybe I'm just sliding the wrong direction. Maybe this direction is the direction to slide. Make it look better. So if I go 100 FOV. I mean, the knees do kind of... Kinda, sorta, less, well, more. This is killing my brain. Should perform full tick when paused, yes. And then let's go into here and find crouch. And for now, we are gonna make crouch toggle crouch, just so I can press the button once and then pause it. Oof. Seriously? That breaks that? That's stupid. And that's more or less doing what it's supposed to. I can't unpause the game. That's a little weird. Yeah, I mean, even in the proper FOV, it does look weird. Actually, no, I think proper FOV is 78. Why do they move when the camera moves? That's weird. That wasn't happening before. This is also not what this looked like before. Alright, who broke it? I did. That was me. Yo, what's up, Mr. Lonely? I'm not gonna worry about this. Well, if people complain about it, we've got all this code, that jambled mess that we can worry about. I'm not gonna spend another freaking 5 hours on this. That's not worth my time. it's gonna look weird either way. First person legs look weird. Again, people much rather see their first person legs than having them look perfect. So also I was talking, I have two things I want to ask y'all now that we've got some people in chat. Regarding pickup spawners, there's a part of me that doesn't want the weapon pads or just like spawner pads. Granted, yes, they are more appealing to casual players because, well, obviously, you know, if you, oh gosh, this is still on toggle crouch. Gross. Get this out of here. Triggered. Completed. Get that out of here. I don't want toggle crouch. That's disgusting. Disgusting. So yes, they're really appealing to casual players because, like, you know, the way I have this set up, if it's got the red hologram, that means it's still in the world, it's still in play. You know, I'm holding this gun. If it despawns, once that weapon despawns in 30 seconds, this will turn to blue and it'll respawn. And then you also have this bar down here, which is the respawn timer, you know, very inspired by Halo Infinite's. And that's why it's nice because, yeah, you do have a respawn timer. Everyone in the match knows how long it takes to respawn. Everyone in the match can see this. And for casual players that don't know where weapons spawn on maps, you think about Halo 3, somebody goes picks up, you know, a shotgun, you could walk by that area multiple times and, like, if the, let's say the shotgun spawned here, you would never know that the shotgun spawned right there because there's nothing to tell you that it spawns right there. Which is where weapon pads are nice. Oh yeah, you see it despawn and it respawned there. It's nice because, yes, even if the gun is gone, you can still see it. And that's kind of what this prototype was. It's kind of messed up, but if I drop that, you know, you can see the little hologram of it. The colors are horrible, so it's really hard to see, but you can see the hologram of the SMG leaning up against the wall. So there's a part of me that wants to say no weapon pads, but still have the holograms. Yeah, that is the other option, is going more the, y'all are gonna hate me for streaming this, but I was looking at Valorant's weapons spawning system because I actually was thinking about doing something similar for what do you mean, nah? I was thinking about doing something similar to what Valorant does for, that they do for their weapon spawners that I would do for mine. And the other big thing is weapon pads are nice. However, they feel extremely out of place on natural maps. Like, we have a map called Forest. I don't know if we'll name it something different. But we have a map called Forest. And that map is 100% entirely natural. There's not a single, like, hard surface. There's not a single, like, human-made thing on there. Like, it's all crystals and trees and water and rocks and grass and stuff like that. Weapon pads just feel extremely out of place and, like, immersion breaking on natural maps because it's a natural map. It shouldn't have weapon pads. Yes, you gotta ask the question then, well, why are there weapons on the map to begin with? Yeah, that's a different story. But just having a weapon pad on the map, just to me, it just doesn't work. It doesn't feel right. So as soon as this loads, I can show you guys, because I don't think I'll be able to find a good video of it. It's much easier to just launch this. Yeah, but then you get, the issue with that is you have way too many different environments. What if it's snowy? What if it's, you know, you've got wood, sand, metal, concrete. Then you've got different, like, we're probably going to have a talk with a bunch of people soon of coming up with different companies and different design philosophies for those companies. That way our maps can become a lot more coherent. So that way we can say this map is, you know, Obstination Systems, their design philosophy is that they're very rounded corners and very smooth shading, and like a lot of their surfaces are white with a slight accent color or something. You know, we're gonna come up with a bunch of different themes for a bunch of different companies, which helps the level designers to know what they're designing for, and it helps whoever the artists are to no, I'm not showing an ad. But that helps the level designers to know what they're designing, which helps Coma, because Coma can go and quickly model a map, and he can tell me, hey, I'm designing a map for Obstination Systems. He knows the design philosophy of that, which he can work into his maps. And when he sends that to me, I can go, okay, we look at our mood board, and I can look at his map, and I go, okay, I see what you were going for here. Or Valorant could just crash. That works too. Let's try and find a video of it. Maybe this will have a good video of it. I don't care. So, okay, cool. Yeah, so what Valorant has is, you can see here, like, it is a weapon pad, but it is very small. However, to me, it still feels very out of place. Like, this is like an overgrown map and whatnot, and you've just got this weapon pad smack dab in the middle of it. Sure, it works, and it's smaller, and at least from a... Valorant relaunched? Okay. We'll see. And it's got the hologram and all that. And for me personally, it works. And it also has really, really cool respawn. It's sticking me right back into the game. Oh, it's sticking me into the game. Well, let's try it again. It relaunched for me, so... Well, the hologram would be there. I mean, the hologram is an indication of the fact that there is a weapons like spawning there. I don't really feel like we need an emitter per se. Okay, cool. Oh. Sheesh. So if we come over to, let's say, this weapon spawner over here, I actually really like this, and it has cool sound design too. So like, look at this, look at like the materialization, like that's a really cool effect. And then watch what happens when it actually spawns. It sounds so cool. Like, that's cool. Let me drop it so it starts respawning. Ugh, I don't like this announcer. Like, you know, that's a cool effect. I mean, I would probably do something more hexagonal rather than triangular, or like, you know, whatever the respawn effect is. Like, you have the hologram. I would show the entire hologram of the gun, maybe, probably. Or do some kind of like listen. Like, that sounds cool. Waiting for stage change, so the cooler weapons start spawning. Stage 2. Yeah. Like, I'm thinking something like this, where the hologram itself is the progress bar, and then maybe some sort of thing where, like, you know, when the weapon's respawning, like if it's the hologram, I don't know, maybe it's just the hologram becomes more visible. I don't know if I'd go like this route where the gun isn't visible and the hologram appearing is the progress bar, or if it's like the hologram of the entire gun is visible, but maybe it's like more visible from the, you know what I mean? Like, because I do like the progress bar idea. It's just, how do you show that with the hologram and only doing a hologram? And then I would keep the whole red and blue thing, because that's a very great thing to see. Okay, this weapon is not going to be spawning because it's still intact. Ooh, let me go.
Stage 3.
Let's go look at the Vandal. Like, that's kind of what I'm trying to debate, is how do I want to do that? But I feel like, yeah, if we just completely negate the weapon pads, and you can just, that way the level designers themselves can also, gosh, it thinks I'm still in Valorant. The weapon designers themselves can lean the weapons up against walls, because our weapons don't really have physics for the entire model. The physics are only this little sphere in the center, because that makes physics simpler and easier to replicate. More predictable. So it's like, yeah, we'd probably end up doing something similar where
10 seconds until stage change.
yeah, you know, you pick this up and you'd have like the recharge bar would be the hologram.
Final stage.
And then yeah, you'd see it like materialize, kind of the same thing as this. The idea I had, I actually didn't realize, and then a friend brought this to my attention. I completely forgot that Valorant even had team deathmatch. Like, but like, I don't know, that's what I'm thinking, because I did not mean to F11 Valorant. Because I don't quite, after talking about it with a few people, some friends and some family, yeah, the weapon pads are definitely immersion breaking. And that's why I think just doing, okay, I don't know why it's doing this. I didn't ask it to. That's why I think just doing the hologram method, and also the holograms wouldn't, what I'm thinking of doing, because I was going to do this for the weapon pads anyways, but what I'm thinking of doing is the hologram is visible up to a certain distance, because otherwise, you know, you're playing the game, and you know, you're just having these glowing things from across the map. Like, you know, the things in Onyx are going to be, you know, there's going to be a bunch of emissive stuff, so having these holograms that are across the map kind of flickering, catching your eye, it's, I mean, yeah, you might not see that from like this far away, but still, you don't want to distract players. You don't want to have players, you know, seeing a bunch of stuff that they don't need to be seeing. So what I'm thinking I'll do is, the distance that you can see the weapon spawn, or yeah, the hologram, is directly related to its respawn time, or its respawn percentage. So if the weapon just got picked up, you'll only be able to see it within like 2 meters of being inside of it, or being like near it. So, you know, if I pick this up, you know, I would only be able to see that probably from like this distance. So I essentially would have to be standing right next to it if it just got picked up. And then as the respawn timer goes and goes and goes, like if it just got picked up, I definitely wouldn't be able to see it from here. And then as the respawn timer goes higher and higher, maybe like 50%, now I can see it at full opacity, and then, you know, That way, if you're across the map, you only see things that are important. Like, you know, if you're looking at like a sniper rifle spawn, if you're across the map and you can't see it, that means it's not ready to be respawned yet. So, you know, you can kind of gauge the timer based off a distance, if that makes sense. So if you can see the weapon pick up from a good distance away, then you know that it's ready, or it's close to respawning. And then based off the color of what what you can see from far away, that also tells you whether or not it's able to be respawned. So that's my idea, and I think after talking about this more and looking at Valorant, I'll probably modify this material a little bit. Yeah, this does not go good against an orange background. All right. Anyways, I also organized the Notion board, so I kind of cleaned it up, removed a lot of the stuff that was checked off, and stuck some of them into here. This I just created this. This isn't going to be doing anything yet. But the priorities is a lot cleaner. So speaking of replays, look at this. Let's demo record test 2. So now we're recording a replay. And let's get some physics in here. Let's simulate that. You know, let's get some different grenades in here. Throwing these, just seeing if these are replicated. Is it a good song? Speaking of music, I need to play the soundtrack. And then let's stick him for one final kill. And let's make his bodies fly around. Wow. Interesting. Alright, now if we demo stop and we demo play test 2. That's a good song. And look at this, replays. And it's working functionally, or it's properly functioning. And we can spectate first person. I can go back into the world and spectate back. And you can see pretty much everything's working. My grenades are replicated, the ammo's replicated, weapon switching is like, look at this. Not all the animations are replicated. I'm well aware of that. And not all the sounds are set up properly. But I mean, hey, it's a replay. And you know, I can pause and I can like go back in time. And I can do this super cool thing where I can attach the camera to, say, the hand. Actually, you know what? Let's attach it to the head. I don't have all the proper replay controls in here. But look at this, like... Watch, now when we click play, it's like a little action cam. It doesn't copy the rotation for now. But like... We pause, move the camera out a little bit, and play. You know, it's following the player around stuff. So, we've got some cool features. And a lot more planned. This is like 10% of the theater features that I want. There's also no way to stop the attach right now, but and it returns a lot of errors. So you can tell replay mode is very much bare bones and basic right now, but it works. It does work, and that's what I'm happy about. So we're not going to worry about this, and we're not going to worry about that. Projectile hit markers and replay hit markers will be done at the same time. So, yeah, we can start working on this. That's what I feel like. It's a good thing to work on. I've put it off for long enough. Blueprints, pickups, weapon pickup. Can interact primary and can interact secondary. So, get current slot. Get weapon. Oh, I guess I don't have a get current weapon function. Oh shoot. Nope. What all functions do I have? Get weapon type? Yeah, that's what I need. In the primary slot. And then if this weapon is not equal to our weapon. So this is the basic form of weapon checks. And then we can just throw this on. Well, no, we do want to be able to dual wield both weapons. In theory, I mean, it's technically working. We're gonna disable this code. This is, I forgot, this kind of requires us to have the assault rifle fully functional because that's the only one that can't be dual wielded, so this kind of breaks a lot of, golly, a lot of stuff right now relies around either adding the assault rifle or adding new animations. But animations we're starting next week because I made that promise. Or we're doing some of the ability and equipment animations, and then we'll get to weapon animation. Ooh, also, second question I have for y'all. Titanfall 2 effect and cause. So there's a very cool mission, Titanfall 2. I could also pull this up, but I'm not gonna play through this on stream. So basically, this mission has some really cool like teleportation effects, and yes, Titanfall 2 is hog. Basically, I've always had an issue with the effects that I've used for teleportation grenades. So we come down to videos. I don't know if I ever use the teleportation grenade in here. I bet you I do. No, it doesn't even look like I have any equipment in this version, so that's definitely not going to have it. Oh wait, shoddy snipes. Yeah. Let me just wait to see where I don't... Okay, here we go. This is definitely where I've teleported. So I throw that, And if we look at this effect, what is up with my full screen? There we go. What the? Very weird. If we go frame by frame of this teleportation, oh yeah, see this version, no effect. It just instantly teleported you. And you know, that's kind of just jarring. You couldn't really tell you were about to teleport sometimes, and it was whack. I'm gonna have to find some gameplay of Gen 2. Actually, y'all can scroll through these folders with me. Videos, Project Onyx. Let's go March. I'm sure there's something with a teleportation grenade. I don't think this is it, but it might be. Oh, TP nade. Yep. So I got him. I got him so good with this. This is what I mean by like the ability and equipment combos that you can do in Onyx. This is what I'm gonna love to see what the community comes up with. See, this version is a teleportation grenade. It impacts the wall. You can kind of just see my screen just goes to white to hide the teleportation, and then it just fades out. Sure, it works. It's a nice smooth transition, and you really don't, you don't see the actual teleportation. It's smooth, but it's very boring. But watch this. He runs over there. That's what I'm saying. It does hide the effect. It does achieve its goal of hiding the effect, but it's not good. So sort of. I'll show that in a bit here. I want a little bit more lead up into the teleportation. Now you have time to react and say, oh shoot, I'm about to teleport, rather than Titanfall 2 where it's almost an instantaneous flash, but that's also because it's directly related to input. You'll see in the campaign when it goes to teleport you kind of what I mean. All right, here we go. Watch this. I throw the teleportation grenade. I send out my hologram, and as he's turning around, so he doesn't even see the teleportation grenade go over his head. And obviously there's not a lot of sounds in this version, so he doesn't hear the teleport, because there is no teleport sound. But it goes over his head, and he goes to shoot at my hologram, and look at that. I'm behind. I missed my shot, but I'm behind him, and then I kill him. Like that's a cool combo. That's a sick combo. But like you see with this, it's just that fade, and that fade is, like you said, it's not it. It works, and you could always do a more interesting fade where instead of it just being a alpha value of 0 to 1, 1 to 0, you could do kind of like a pixelation effect where like it goes across your screen in like a hexagonal pattern or something, from like the bottom of your screen to the top of it. Even then, that's just boring. It's not really interesting. So what Titanfall 2 does, and I also had an old version where it would like scale your FOV whenever you teleported, but I don't even want to know where I would find a clip of that. I have so many clips. What Titanfall 2 does is we can find this. Here we go. It's like when you start to teleport in Titanfall 2, you see the edge of the screen start to warp and like become, I think it's got like no, that's just because he's taking damage. We find an actual clip where he teleports. Yeah, you can kind of see like the edge of the screen starts to like glow a little bit. Skip to the bridge. I don't know where the bridge is. haven't played this mission in ages. Oh, this is when he gets the wrist. Like when he activates it, because it's related to player input. Oh, this part. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But like actually this is a perfect frame right here. You can kind of see like the edge of the screen starts to like ripple, and then it starts to glow a little bit, and like your screen starts getting distorted, and then boom, it flashes and it kind of sends a white. So there's a white thing that fades out, like your entire screen becomes white and it fades out, and then there's this like electrical ripple effect that scales outwards really quickly and ripples your screen. I'm thinking I can do something similar, only because luckily this video came across my recommended on YouTube yesterday. And wouldn't you guess what this effect... Shut up. Wouldn't you guess what this effect is? It's a screen distortion shader post-process effect that warps the edge of the screen. So if I combine this with some nice alpha and some animated like things to kind of get that Titanfall vibe and feel, I could do something very similar. And honestly, the teleportation grenade is probably the next equipment to get implemented, aside from all of the boosts, now that we have all the models. So, but basically, here's the bridge. But like, see this, the good thing about the difference of this is that when the campaign, other than this part on the bridge, when the campaign teleports you, it's got a lot more lead up to let you know that you're about to teleport, which for my teleportation grenade, that is what I liked about the fade-in, is the fade-in, you would have that like, I don't know, quarter of a second, maybe half a second for you to realize I'm about to teleport, let me get ready. Instead of just an instant thing. If it's instant, it just feels bad. You need that lead up. And also the third person model also has like a lead up, so. But then once you get the wristband, the actual like teleportation device, it's near instant. The effect is like, the speed is like 20 times the normal speed. Just simply because it's related to player input, so it needs to feel snappy. And actually, Coma and I, my level designer and I, we actually made a map in Halo Infinite that kind of has the same vibe. They had it in Halo 5, and we searched for it in Halo Infinite, and there were people who had made it, but it wasn't as good. So we just remade it ourselves, and you can like see little orbs floating around from where the other people are, and it's really cool. We never finished it, but it's really cool. But I'm thinking, if I follow this tutorial and make this shader, I could probably do a cool teleport effect where the edge of your screen starts to warp and it starts to like glow your crystal color, and then, you know, does that and, you know, teleports you, which my sound designer, he'd create some really good sounding sound design for that. So but yeah, like imagine throwing your teleportation grenade to like the top of this and then using that to ground pound down. The combos are going to be peak. You combine it with your teammates who's got like a jump pad or something. It's going to be fun. What was I going to work on? I had something in this list that I was going to work. Oh. We will We will rock you. We're gonna stick this in our temporary graph until we get it fully functional. Custom function, a custom event. Start ADS. We're gonna work on getting ADS in because that is honestly something that we need soon. I'm gonna open old Onyx because old Onyx is ADS values felt really good, but I think I want to say it was like a half a second. We need to create a new input action called let's just duplicate crouch. ADS, save, mapping context, player input, add ADS. The key, we're gonna right click. Cool. Save, player, ADS. Ugh. Where do I set the FOV? Oh wait, I have a function in here. Tick. Determine camera FOV. Cool, cool. Okay, so what we need to do is on our temporary thing, we need to set base FOV on this update function. We need to lerp from nope, we don't want to set base FOV when we want to. Actually, can we just do get ADS and do get alpha? Nope. Okay, we'll just have to promote this to a variable then. Promote to variable ADS alpha, which we can stick into camera. And then in here, We can lerp between our normal FOV, and then we'll do FOV divided by 1.5 because that's the normal zoom level. When we get other weapons in, we can modify this code to include whatever those zoom values are. So, but that's the thing where we'll just get the current weapon, check if we're not dual wielding, because you shouldn't be able to zoom while dual wielding, because your zoom key most of the time will actually end. Oh, it's backwards. Okay, it's probably 0.1 in old Onyx then, because that is way too slow. Pawns, player. Yep, 0.1. What did I say? Bada bing, bada boom. Oh yeah. Now we obviously just have to make the ADS animation, so the gun has to come to the middle of the screen, and then we have to have an ADS idle position, then we have to get all the leaning and walking and directions, and then we have to do poses for idle, crouching, air crouching, because air crouching and crouching have two different positions. So if you're ADS while in the air and crouched, and then if you're crouching. And then we have to work on ADS jump, ADS land. ADS actually has quite a bit of animations, because you can pretty much do everything that you can normal walking, but while ADS'd. So. But then obviously doing things like reload should automatically unzoom you. So actions will have to like pause. But at least we have the start and stop ADS functions, and it does affect the camera properly. That's fine. Once we animate the actual animations, we'll work on getting the weapon to adjust its FOV. And then we can get it per gun. So like the SMG doesn't have an ADS, so you shouldn't even be able to do this. And obviously, like, if I start dual wielding the pistols, every time I shoot the right one, it's gonna ADS, because right click shoots the right pistol. So, and then last but not least, one of the things I wanted to get done today. Well, no, because that also needs an animation. Dang. Next week is really gonna open up a lot more coding stuff, because I was gonna do the VFX, or like start creating the VFX for the shockwave, but I want to preview that with the animation to make sure that it looks right. So we've started on that. That also, this is a bug, and I'm not quite sure how to fix it. And I'm not really sure how to show this, but basically, like, if a player's flying through the air, the player's like flying through the air, and you kill them, instead of their ragdoll continuing to fly in that direction, the player kind of just stops dead midair and falls. Let me see if I can kill myself. I need a thruster pack. Alright, screw this. I'm just gonna go set it. Manually code it. Components, player, ability system. Just give myself thruster. So like if I think I still have this debug key, don't I? Yep, pressing L does kill me. It does not ragdoll me though. That's interesting. Somewhere in this graph, I have something that kills me. That's toggling first person. That's... That's invis. That's auto tracking. That's debug. No, we'll just look up set is dead. Oh, right here. Ah, that's what I'm not doing. Here we go. So now if I press L. Yeah, okay, I do ragdoll. Cool. So if I go flying, like we're gonna go to run a couple things to the top of this. Okay, if I don't fall. Y'all didn't see that. So if I like fall, you know, I was flying, so why does my body fall straight down? Not really sure where to even change that, because you can't set the velocity of all bones, like yeah, you can't set the velocity of all bones. Wow. I'm dumb. So then the question is, where am I actually calling ragdoll on the player? This is calling add impulse, so set physics linear velocity. Oh, you can tell I already tried doing it here. Bone name, make literal name. If this works, then that's immediately one thing checked off the list. Because I hated killing people and their body would just fall straight down. It felt so bad every single time. So if I go run back to the top of this, and if we thrust and then slide, or hey, look at that. That kind of felt a little jank. We'll see though. I really need to add like a man cannon. That way I can like touch it and get launched across the map. Oh, he was jiggling. Oh. Okay, anyways. Oh, that felt jank because the pickup spawns were spawning out of my camera. Okay. Well, that works. Let me set myself to have the shockwave so I can launch this guy midair and see if it feels good when shooting people, because that's really what matters. Let me go up so I can get some get as much force as possible on him. And I said yeet. Yeah, that feels good. I wanted him to go a little bit more horizontal than vertical, so let's... Okay. Wow. Well, I cannot walk, apparently. Okay, let's go here. All right. Let's do that again, because I was a little too far. All right, and let's weaken him first, so we can... We're not going to talk about that. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, that's fixed. Oh, that's not him. I'm already getting tricked by holograms, and they're not even in the game yet. Cool. Well, we can pull this into... no, I will not be able to hit my shots one day. That is a lie. Cool. That's fixed. That's not... I have to do some changes to the mesh to even get particles to spawn from the surface of the mesh, which will be done when we do the damage boost, because that requires fire effects to spawn from the surface of the mesh. Dither fade on and everything. There's nothing else really in the game that needs to have a dither fade. That I need to talk to GMC about. This I don't even have weapons really, other than the SMG input. Dang, I'm looking at this. All of this is reliant on animations now. Or in this case, these two things are waiting for auto settings to finally update their plugin. Bullet forces is one of those things that I need to figure out the right place to do the forces. I think if I'm not mistaken, wait for it. Gwaw, look at this massive shoot function. Definitely need to collapse this down into some functions. If I'm not mistaken, my shooting component is the one that actually... Yeah. So this is probably where we'll need to put the code. Oh, look at that. I've already prototyped it. Oh, the blockout box. Let's add a cube. Give it blue. Let's make it blue. And then let's make it simulate physics. I think that's all we need to do, right? Yep. And as you can see, like if you look at this corner relative to that point right there, it do be moving the cube, but like that ain't enough force. But also, if I just get the mass of the object and also multiply it by that, then it become you'll see. Somebody get ready to clip this because this is gonna be crazy. One bullet should not make a box go flying that much. Like if the shockwave only does that. However, the bullet forces are currently designed purely for killing ragdoll, or for the ragdoll. So like if I slow motion this, you see when I shoot him, he goes flying. I was not expecting that at all. Yeah. That's why. Because the way I'm doing it is, so if I take, where's that code? Components, player, ragdoll. If I take off this ragdoll, or this add impulse, then you'll see like he goes absolutely flying, but then I shoot the cube and it also goes absolutely flying. So maybe that's just my issue. But I need this to be able to replicate this to other clients, and that's the issue. That's why I had this. Yeah, I remember with I tried doing this about a month ago. I remember what the issue was now. I need this specifically because this is how it replicates it to other clients, to keep everything in sync and to keep everything looking and feeling and being nice. But if I do this in here, then it adds even extra forces. So I need to like add the force before I do the damage. I don't know if that'll actually make a difference, but we'll see. I mean, he didn't go flying. Does that mean? Hold up, we're testing something. What the? That's not what I wanted to happen. Okay, let's go to where we're adding that force. That should be in health. Yep. Uh-huh. We are just multiplying this by the damage impulse. We are not multiplying this by mass. The issue is trying to figure out a good way to have it to where bullets and stuff do affect, you know, vehicles and crates and traffic cones and stuff, you know, anything that's physicalized, and adding a good amount of force onto those things. I guess what I could end up doing is a lerp multiplier. So essentially it does scale by mass, but not 1-to-1. So the higher the mass is, it'd be like a curve essentially. I'd have to create a custom curve. Yeah, that's what it's gonna have to be. It'll have to be a custom curve. However, this means that clients, if we play with 2 players again, this means that clients have to wait till the server says they've shot. Or not. That's weird. That's not supposed to work like that. It did get hit, and if it is a remotely controlled server pawn. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, we'll have to rearrange some of this. Only if we are a remotely controlled server pawn, so we want to go straight into this. If this is true, then we want to do that. And then only if we are a remotely controlled server pawn do we want to apply damage. So damage is only applied on the server, but physics are still predicted on the client. Which actually I'm not sure if they should be, but for now we're going to assume that predicted physics is good, because it's nice and responsive. I did not want to Interesting. Okay. Well then, yeah. What we'll have to do. I need to go run some errands. So, what we'll do is, yeah, I'll just create a curve. And we'll just create a function for. We'll take the input of a component and we'll call it add impulse to component, or add bullet impulse. And essentially, based off the mass of the object, we'll scale the amount of force that is being applied to it. That way you can have something like a tank, and yes, it doesn't make sense for a single bullet to be able to push a tank, but you still want that feat. I mean, maybe not a full tank, but like, you know, a crate, you should be able to slowly push a crate with bullets, just because that feels good in games. So yeah, based off the mass of the object, we can just create like a curve. And then as we add more objects into the game, we just take that object's weight, see what feels good for the weight, and then we just go in there with our guns blazing, and we say, all right, well, this is what value feels good, and then we'll slowly create a curve, I'm sure, of forces. So, I mean, you know, even though this is a little overboard, even though that's a little overboard, for physics, it does work. We'll just have to create that curve, but I have to go run some errands. I did not realize what time it was. So instead, we will go to Notion, and we will change this from bullet forces we'll change this. We'll put a parentheses on it. We'll put mass scale curve. And then yeah, next, I don't think there's gonna be any more dev streams this week. Next week we will start working on the crystal crush animation, the ground pound animation, and probably the thruster animations. So that way we can start getting really good feedback for using abilities and equipment. So, or at least the abilities and equipment that are in game that we don't have animations for. So, and that'll get me back into the animation mindset. That way, we can start working on these animations, all of these. So, yeah, that's the end of the stream. I've got to go run some errands, do some stuff. So, I will talk to you all later. Thank you for joining. Also, I'll start messing around with the weapon spawner stuff. So, yeah. So on that note, yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.